Diaspora Dance Research Group in April of 2012. We wanted to make a space that wasn't reactionary while acknowledging the ways in which our forums were marginalized elsewhere. We wanted to make a space that didn't just copy what was happening in other places with a Black face, while acknowledging that there were good existing models for convening. We wanted to make something ours, something that reflected our love and commitment to African diaspora dance, a place that welcomed students, artists, practitioners, enthusiasts, and scholars to the table for needed dialogue. So as I look across the country now and I see emerging conversations about the place of African diaspora dance in curriculum, job ads for Black dance practitioners popping up in colleges and universities, and all manner of discussion and action about dismantling white supremacy in dance and dance studies, I'm enlivened and encouraged to know that CADD has something to do with that. And that many conversations leading to that change arguably germinated in this space or came from members of the CADD community.
And as we had our conversation of imagining this critical fugitive space, Fluid Black Dance Back came forward. Our topic highlights fluid relationships between gender, sexuality, race, location, disability, age, religion, and of course, sexuality, we say it twice, as we consider Black dance in its infinite varieties and global distributions. We arrive together through dance even as we shift our collective sense of self. And we honor the always changing desires and possibilities that we engage in our dancing. Yes, trans dance. Yes, Brazil. Yes, Guadeloupe. Yes, Creole and dance line realness. Yes, ballet tap and butch queens up in pumps. Yes, the cotillion ball and the Vogue ball, the step show and Chicago stepping, Orisha dancing, and the sacred phrase dance after the night at the club.
I'm going to talk to you about the dark. In 1933, dark matter made itself known. Dark matter is invisible, indirectly observable, but yet undeniably there.
Its counterpart, dark energy, was unconcealed in 1988. Even less is known about it beyond the fact that it repels gravity and it affects the rate at which the universe expands. Recently, scientists have hypothesized that these two forces may not be different elements at all, some invisible 96% co-composing the universe, but one dark superfluid. I thought superfluid and super black. A dark fluid. Hashtag queer as fuck. Hashtag trans as fuck. Dark matter and dark energy exemplify the great what ifs. They say simply no thank you to and defy binary classification, demanding that language be invented, that imaginations and realities be stretched or abandoned. But that darkness is a sacred magic that requires something other than eyes, and a new thing altogether, which blackness has always demanded.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Down the dive, find a place from under, and a boy, give us a gun. We live in fame, we die in flames. Nothing can stop the USA boy! I'm an American actor. I am a warrior. My mission is to fly. Act. I'm an American actor. I'm a warrior. Man. Man. Warrior. Picture. Sorry. I'll do that altar and I will not fail!
Innocent sounds disappear. Innocent sounds disappear. I'm here, right here. Here and not here and not here, but the possibility of me being here and not here, but here, or maybe there, or neither here nor there. Somewhere, nowhere, everywhere.
É preciso ter imagem para recuperar a identidade. Tem que tornar-se visível, porque o rosto de um é o reflexo do outro. O corpo de um é o reflexo do outro. E em cada um, o reflexo de todos os corpos. It needs image to recover identity. It has to become visible because the face of one is the reflection of the other. The body of one is the reflection of the other, and in each one, the reflection of all bodies. Thank you.
The body in diaspora is a proposition in process of pedagogical work in dance. The body in diaspora also cares about the multiplicity that compose our blackness. So we, black people in the world, we dance differently. How can I dance? I meet the other without losing myself, without recognizing not only those things that I cannot see or feel, but also those things that are my body structure. So how can we respect the conformation of our muscles, our bones, respect, develop, and get in contact?
His very surface is transmuted into a nihilistic blot. The dancer's body has been mapped down to the nanopixel. Only his dreadlocked hair is visible as it swoops and dips around the flashing white marks where presumably his head would appear, yet never does. By its very presence, Perry seems to suggest, this body continually invites an apparatus of whiteness to appear in its place. However, Perry is careful in making sure that the dancer is not entirely invisible. His hair and occasionally the edges of his body bypass the whiteout. As I sense and watch my way through the age of information, viral memes, instant celebrity, and the daily, almost ritualistic collapse of the binary between high and low, I find that these memes and videos are sending me into the lives of others, these others who are content producers, who are performing their content. They are also on some level video artists, grappling with the technological terms of the present, constructing outlets for, as Dr. Hazzard-Donald might remark, are saying what they gotta say.
The title of my dance is Follow Your Dreams, and that's also the title of my talk. Follow your dreams. How do I follow my dreams? What do I do to make those dreams come true? I developed a passion for dance at a very early age. I was exactly 4 years old.
When Elaine Gibbs, my dance teacher, took me to a place downtown Cleveland. So it was kind of an audition, I think. Maybe I was 8. There were 12 other little girls there. They were all white. So I said, okay, now we're gonna go across the floor and do PK turns. Oh, I'm good at that. Oh, I know, this will capture them. I was completely invisible to the people up front who were watching us. They didn't see me at all. My heart sank. Even at that young age, the feeling of invisibility was a hurting thing.
As you had with that audition, them not seeing you, I'm wondering if there's something in experiences like that that make us who we are. Because I had a very similar experience in the Higby Company with an audition for the Mickey Mouse Club.
When I was also 8 years old. So my grandma got my little tap shoes and we went on down to Higby to audition. And of course, my mother, who's my maternal grandmother, who legally adopted me, I call my mother, has a lot more melanin than I do because I come from a dark-skinned family, even though I'm light-skinned. So we get there in the line, and of course, we're the only people of color in the line. When we got up, they looked at my mom, looked at me, looked at her again, looked back at me. Then they said, we're sorry, you can't have an application. She said, why not? We don't take colored children. So my mama's first thought when she did her tongue was, that's okay, I ain't here to give it to you. Before I start, I just want to say something and I'll come back to. I want you to heist the window. Because it's hot as a cocoa and you're not sweating like Ellen and Jen. And that's what my mother would say to me when she used to tell me how hot the kitchen was. And I say that because it's important for us to understand the language that our ancestors spoke if we're going to decipher our history and tell our story. I was blessed to know 6 of my great-grandparents, one of them born in 1870, and remember when the federal troops were pulled out of the South. Yes, sir, ain't no doubt. I was 24 in 1972. So I was probably as in touch with the folklore as anybody in my generation could be. I read an article, 1894, Journal of American Folklore. A former slave owner was writing an account of children that played a game in her front yard when she owned these children as slaves. And she said the children would take a bunch of bushes and tie it into a brush broom, attach it to their butts and tie it around their waists, and drag that tail across the front yard as they sang a song, Mr. Cooler, C-O-O-L-E-R. Something didn't sit right with me. I thought, what's wrong here? What's wrong here? Then it hit me. I have a PhD from Cornell and I do not pronounce my final consonants. I don't say cooler. Why would a slave child say cooler? They wouldn't. This person corrected their English. And I thought to myself, how it ain't new? How would Papa have pronounced that? What would they have said? And I began to say the word cooler over and over again as my great-grandfather would have said, cooler, 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 cooler. The children were playing Mr. Cooler. Everybody knows. Cooler drags his tail in the sand. Gator drags his tail in the water. When a man will start dragging his tail and stole somebody's dog. We know that the cooler drags his tail in the sand because Howlin' Wolf told us. Now, what were those children doing? They were doing an old African dance play that they had appropriated into slave culture, because we know that the dance pantomime comes with us. There we have a description, a complete description of a dance play that nobody will recognize because it's labeled Mr. Cooler. And if we don't have a knowledge of the Creole English that our ancestors spoke, if it's Creole French and it's Creole Spanish, then it's also Creole English. Well, what does all this have to do with dance? Everything. We have to become broadly knowledgeable. We have to become more knowledgeable than other people who are telling our story for their own purposes. Which means you better keep a stack of books in the bathroom next to your toilet.